Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a video on Viktor combos. I'm going to be doing this in more of an isolated manner. I have a full video that I'm going to link down below that shows laning, team fights, macro, that kind of stuff. This is going to be purely combos. So it's just going to show animation cancels, combos, how to do them, little tips and tricks on practicing them, and some things like that. First off, I'm going to show you how to animation cancel Viktor Q. There's two ways that you can do it, the difficult way and the simple way. Both of them have their uses, and they're both viable. Obviously, one is more difficult and one is simpler. The difficult way is you're going to Q the target, you're going to right-click to move, and then you're going to right-click to auto-attack them all within a single frame. And quickly, that looks like this. The simpler way, which is the way you're going to be doing it most of the time, is you would Q the target and input two auto attack commands, right clicks, quickly onto the target. So at speed, that looks like this. So again, the old way, Q, you would input a movement command and auto attack, and the easier way, significantly easier, is Q, input two auto attack commands. Your auto attack has a global cooldown for your animation cancel, so if you auto attack and then try to animation cancel, you can't do it. So if I auto and then Q immediately and then try to animation cancel, it comes out slowly because my auto attack timer is resetting, because I only have 0.74 attack speed right now. So again, that looks like, even if I do it, it comes out super slow. So try to be mindful of that when you are going for your quick little animation cancels. Your Q range is slightly longer than your auto attack range. So if I Q here, that's my Q range. If I go for an auto attack, my auto attack range is slightly shorter. So if you try to animation cancel from max Q range, it's not quite good. You want to do it just on the edge of max Q range. So, because if you tried to do it for max range, it would come out like that. If you're at your max auto attack range, that's when it comes out instantly. The best way to test if your animation canceling fast enough is by looking at the last hit number on the target dummy. So see here, my Q does 64 and my auto attack does 90. So we want to get that auto attack out first before the Q. So you want the last hit number to say this 64 here. So see how that says 64? And that says 90. That means we didn't do it fast enough here. Animation canceling is all about your attack speed, so technically the hardest level to do it is level 1 when you have your lowest attack speed. Right now I have 0.78 attack speed because I'm level 6, and it becomes easier the higher attack speed and the higher level you get. So I just bought a bunch of attack speed items to show you how easy it is to animation cancel when you have high attack speed. Not that you would ever go this build, I'm just showing you how simple it is. See how fast my auto comes out? It's like before my Q is even 2/3 of the way there. So your normal fast combo on Viktor for general trades is going to be your Q and your E. You're going to want to throw your Q out usually before your E, but you want to throw them pretty much at the same time, because your E's global cooldown is independent from all of your other abilities. So I can use both of them at the same time and they don't interrupt each other. So the way you'd want to be doing this, it'd be Q and lasering at the same time, then animation canceling your auto attack. Like that. The reason you're going for QE, not EQ, because normally in lane you're going to be poking from a far distance away, so you're just going to be lasering, you're not in anywhere near Q range. The only time you're going to be going for QEs are when the enemy steps up too far and goes for last hits. And the reason you want to Q first is because it's the shorter ranged ability, and it's going to be harder to get off. With your E, you want to be casting it inside this bubble here. This is your maximum cast range, and the reason you want to be doing that is because it doesn't interrupt your movement commands. So if I'm walking, and I cast it here, I'm going to continue walking. But if I cast it outside of the circle, it's going to autopath me into that range and stop my movement. Ideally, you never want to do that. It's going to happen inevitably, but you want to limit it as much as you can. So the correct way you want to be doing this is casting on the edge of that range as much as possible. Whenever you're going for an R and a W at the same time, you always want to cast the R a split second before the W. If I go for a WR, it's going to come out a little delayed like that. Like your W goes down, then your R comes out. If you go for an RW, they come out at pretty much the same time. Something that I like to practice that I got from Coach Curtis is, that I put a little bit of my own spin on, is practicing max range lasers. So what you're going to do is set up a target dummy, you're going to normal cast your laser, and you're going to back up just until it's on the edge. Like that's a max range cast right there. And then what I like to do is put a ward at my feet, and then pick another spot, normal cast my laser, make sure it's at max range, and then put a ward here. And I like pathing between the two, and if my pathing's interrupted, I know I didn't do it correctly. And if I miss the dummy, I did it too short like that. And if I do it too far out of the range, I'll do that. So it gets you in that rhythm of quick casting it just at that max range, like a quick little snap. See, like I'm not even perfect at it. You're never going to be perfect. You just want to be as close to perfect as you can be. And try doing this from different angles too, so you can get that practice from different positions. So if I go up here, not quite max range, a little too far, a little more. There. So ward at my feet here, and I'll pick like up here. Way too close. That's pretty good. So we're going to path in between these and go for max range lasers. Something that's very interesting with all skill shots in League of Legends is low ground to high ground. There's actually height in League of Legends, and it's done with the terrain. So if I normal cast my laser, since I'm lower ground here, he's higher ground, this actually counts as high ground here. If I normal cast my laser where the hitbox looks like it shouldn't hit, but it does hit him, since he's on higher ground and I aim below him, it's going to hit more easily. If I aim above him, it's going to be less accurate. That's in range, and then that should be out of range. And this, the target, not even close, they're not anywhere inside my arrow, that's gonna hit. Let's see how far we can get it. That still hits, that was way farther. That also still hits. See, we're not even aiming at the target anymore, like that's about the edge right there. And this is exactly opposite for high ground to low ground. If I have the high ground, we just destroy Anakin easily. It's the opposite. So aiming below is where things are worse. Aiming above them is where things are better. Yeah, that's where it misses. The best way for you to technically practice your Q animation cancels, level 6 is a good level. You've got 0.78 attack speed. It's not a crazy high amount. Every level you get a little bit, so it gets a little easier every level you go up. But something you can do is practice, if you can get good at it from max range, your max auto attack range, where you're hitting that 64 consistently, try moving a little closer. When you're a little closer though, you can't do this auto attack animation cancel. It's not fast enough. You have to do it the old way because it's technically faster when you're closer. It's the same when you're far, it's faster when you're closer. So the way to do that again is you're going to cue the target, input a movement command, and then right click back on them all within a single frame. Viktor R also interrupts channeled abilities. So any channeled ability in the game, if it's teleport, Twisted Fate ultimate, the initial part of Tom Kench's new W counts as a channel. as he's jumping into the ground. So if you are Tom Kench during that time period, it would interrupt his jump and he would be stationary here. The best thing that you're going to be using this for most of the time is channeled ultimates like Lucian Ult or Vel'Koz Ult or Katarina Ultimate. Any channeled ability, you want to be holding your R. If you're in those matchups, you don't want to just use your R immediately at the start of the fight just for the most damage, because sometimes saving it that extra second or two waiting for them to use their ultimate and then you just counter with yours. It interrupts a lot of things that you might not be aware of, that you don't think are channeled abilities. The initial cast of Fiddlestick's ultimate counts as a channeled ability before he blinks. There's I think it's a 1.5 second channel before Fiddlesticks actually blinks and his ultimate starts. If you are him during that first 1.5 seconds, it'll stop it and it won't go off. And these abilities will all go on full cooldown, by the way. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate like and subscribe. I can do more Viktor content or more content on other champions if anyone has any recommendations. I hope you really enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I try to stream 3 to 4 days, maybe 5 days a week at around 9 p.m. Eastern. So if any of you are interested, I'll put the link to my Twitch down below. Hope to see you guys there.